Greetings, Jay Stone here, Cap Ball Fanatic channel. You know, a couple of months ago, I went to a terrific living history show in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and the strangest thing happened. This Confederate classic somehow followed me home. So, which Cap Ball Revolver is it that followed me home? I'm sure some of you recognized it. It is a replica of a Dance Brothers 1862 Confederate Classic Cap and Ball Revolver, 44 caliber. Now, I'll talk about the Dance Brothers a little bit here because it's got an interesting history, and some of you who've been around the channel for a long time are going to say, what do you mean you were looking for one? You've got that silver engraved one, and I did a video on it about 2 years ago now. I'll link it at the end. But I've been looking for a blued version all this time that was reasonably priced. And you know what? I was at that show and it just showed up here at my house. Isn't it amazing, folks, how that happens? So we're going to shoot this thing today, see if we can hit something with it. It's a 44 caliber. I'm shooting starting out at about 22, 23 grains of Swiss 3F black powder, a 44 caliber lubed wad, and a home cast 454 round ball fired by number 10 Remington caps. So we're going to start out on paper here quickly and try to figure out where this offhand and try to figure out where this thing's shooting, and then we'll move to some steel, and maybe if we get lucky, we'll end up shooting long. All right, let's get started. So I'm shooting at about 20 yards at paper. Let's see what happens. My other Dancing Brothers is pretty accurate. Let's see how this Dance Brothers, I was corrected last time. It's not Dance and Brothers. It's Dance Brothers, and I want to be good about that. So if I make the mistake, I'm sorry, because that's what I've always called it. But my other Dance Brothers, the silver engraved one, is a pretty accurate Cap and Ball revolver. Let's see about this one. First shots. A little high to the left. That's not bad. Okay. Don't know where that one went. Take your time, Jer. Okay. Follow through. How do you identify a Dance Brothers from other Cap and Ball revolvers? Well, this one makes it pretty easy. There's no recoil shield. They did not put recoil shields on Dance Brothers Cap and Ball revolvers for probably one of two reasons that I've read. One is that it produces fewer cap jams, which is nice, especially if you're going into battle. But number two, and it's probably closer to the truth, is they had a scarcity of steel and iron back in those days, so they probably left that off as a way of saving raw materials. It also has the round sort of dragoon barrel, but there are other Confederate revolvers that have that. Just remember, if it doesn't have a recoil shield, it's a Dance Brothers. We'll talk more about it in a little bit. Let's fire a few more here. Okay. 6 more at 20 on paper. Up. We've got speaking of cap jams, we've got a cap that crushed itself down inside here. stopping the hammer from getting to it. So we'll be careful with a cocked gun. We're going to go down in here and we're going to get that out of there. And now we're ready to go. Misfire. Hold that out there. Hold that out there. And we got one more. Now we're going to go replace the misfire and be back out to finish our round. Now, for those that aren't sure, safety protocol says when you have a misfire, which is the cap goes off, but nothing comes out the end of the barrel, you keep it pressed down range for between 30 seconds and a minute to make sure that there's not a spark going to get in there and set that thing off. Now, I kept it down range for about 45 seconds. I edited some of that time out for speed of the video, but I hold it down range 30, 45, close to a minute, and you'll be better off. Now let's make sure that I didn't dry ball. That's 12 downrange on paper. Let's see how we did. All right, 10 out of 12 on paper. Let's shoot some small swinging steel. And what you're going to notice is I have a different target rack down there now with a second Bigfoot. And I have painted both Bigfoots yellow because they're special and because I want to hit them. So let's shoot, see how we do on the small steel for accuracy. About 20 yards. This is the test. All right, before we shoot 50, let's talk a bit about the Dance Brothers. Made in Columbia, Texas, 1862 and 1865. There was about 500 total of these manufactured with the Dragoon round barrel and no recoil shield. The first 100 150 of them were 36 calibers, which are almost impossible to find in originals and there are no replicas that I'm aware of. I'd love to have one, although it would probably look like a Leech and Rigdon without the recoil shields. The rest of them were 44 calibers. The last one was shipped in 1865. This was one of the favorite revolvers of the time. And to this day, it remains one of, if not the most, iconic Confederate handgun cap and ball revolver of its time. Perhaps the Griswold and Gunnison or the Spiller and Burr has eclipsed it in terms of popularity. But I have to tell you, it's a beautiful gun. There's still some originals around if you've got big bank, which I don't have. So let's take some shots at Big Yellow 50 yards. Let's see what we can do from right back here. I love this thing, by the way. I'm having a blast shooting it. First time I've had it out of the box. Haven't touched it, haven't cleaned it, and I'm shooting it pretty well. So I have a lot of high hopes for this particular revolver. Now let's see if those get dashed at 50 yards. I've got 6. I'd like to hit it. I'd like to hit it 6 times. What do you think? Let's do one at a time and see what happens. I'm low and in the middle. 1, What do you know? 2, 3, 1, 2. That one hit loud. There it is. That one sounds like it curved around before it hit it. Remember, these Dance Brothers were put on an 1851 Navy frame. So I've often said that the 44 caliber Army caliber on a Navy frame that everybody says is a fantasy gun, if this is in fact what the Dance Brothers looked like and felt like, then they had the 44 caliber on a Navy frame long before Pietta even thought about making them, so that would make them not fantasy guns. Well, there you have it. My day on the range with my new to me model year 1862 Dance Brothers. The replica made by Pietta. It's a fine shooter. First time I've shot it. Now, as I said, I have another Dance Brothers. It's silver and engraved, but it feels quite different in my hand. This one feels really, really good. 1851 Navy grip with a 44 caliber frame. Again, it's the classic Dance Brothers with the Dragoon barrel and no recoil shield. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And I enjoyed it. We shot it pretty well for the first time. Again, this is one of those Cap and Ball revolvers that I ran into at a history show, and somehow or another it ended up in my collection, and I'm happy it's there. So this was an awful lot of fun to make, but this wouldn't be the Cap and Ball Fanatic channel if I didn't do a shameless plug one more time. Because y'all know that when this video debuts, probably Saturday of this week, that is, puts us at exactly 1 week before the Cap and Ball Fanatic sponsored Grand Valley Cap and Ballers novelty pistol shoot that I did a video on a couple of weeks ago. I'll put it all right here. Let me move over here. I'll put all the information right there. I'll put the video link at the end of this video. God, I hope some of you can make it. If you're within I understand that many of you are a long ways away and you'd like to come. We're going to do this again, so you can start planning on it now. Free camping, $5 for electrical, $20 registration fee, covers food, covers everything. And then we'll have the $1 50-50 raffle on 70-yard shots. Y'all are going to get a chance to put yourself to the test like I did today at 50. June 7th, Saturday, starting. We'll start registration at 8 a.m. We'll have a little discussion of range safety at the Grand Valley Cap and Ballers at 9. God, I hope to see some of you there. I've heard from some of you that are coming. We'll look forward to it. Again, that's my shameless plug. Gotta do it. Well, listen, thanks for coming to the video today. Thanks for watching. We've got more videos coming. We'll see you again on down the road the next time. Hopefully at the shoot next week.